people realize the importance of this album?
No.
No.
No, it was just something we did as our stage act, and we were very grateful to get a break.
We didn't know we were doing anything different.
No, we had no idea.
No, we did, like, you know, people say that, you know, Tim started all these bass things and I started all these drum. We did things out of necessity.
Yeah, like making rent and car payments.
Yeah. For me, you know, like with no PA system, I had to bang harder because he had bigger amps, you know.
And we put his bass drum through my bass amp,
you know,
back in 1966.
Heavier, you know? So we started, I got big drums for bigger sound, you know, so now, you know, people look back and go, oh, we started a trend, you know, you started playing heavy drums, everybody plays heavy, and he's playing heavy bass, you know, and it's, you know, we did that in necessity, we didn't really know what we were doing.
In all albums, you have many covers.
Yeah.
Why you choose something like that?
Why do we make covers?
Yeah.
Because in the time that we started, it was a fad going around New York City, Long Island, that you take a song that's been out and you turn it into a production number, which is what an 8-minute song would be. And so we were just doing what all the other bands in the area were doing.
Except we got lucky and we got a little bit better.
Who has the idea with Vanilla Fudge name?
Mark Stein's cousin.
His cousin, I think it was Dee Dee from the Unspoken Word.
Was it her?
Yeah, I think it was her. It was a girl. A girl said that, you know, she had a nickname called Vanilla Fudge that somebody used, their grandfather called her, and she thought that we were like Vanilla Fudge, white soap. So,
And the problem was at the time, see, we were called the Pigeons. The Pigeons. The bird?
Yeah, I see.
And when we got our recording contract with Atlantic, the Pigeons was taken. We couldn't use it, trademarked.
It was trademarked by another band.
By another band. So we had to come up with a name within 20 minutes.
Did you meet Ahmed and the gun? The Turkish guy who's it?
Oh, sure.
I think I don't know if he's still alive.
I don't know either. Ahmed.
Oh, he's alive.
Is he alive?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a genius.
Oh, that he is.
Turkish.
Yeah.
Yeah, his brother. Yes.
Which of your albums do you prefer from Vanilla Fudge discography?
So Vanilla Fudge albums?
Yes.
Probably the first.
The first or third?
I like the first and the fourth.
Did I have my...
Near the beginning's the fourth.
Yeah, the first and fourth.
I would like to ask you about your first hit single, You Keep Me Hanging On, because it was number 6. And I would like to ask you, what's the story behind this cover?
How you choose the track?
Yeah.
It was the same thing. We were doing production numbers. Mark Stein and I had come home from a gig real late. I can't even remember where we were working at the time. And we were sitting in front of the house, and Keep Me Hanging On came on the radio about 5 in the morning.
With Supreme.
Yeah. And we thought, you know, because we were doing all these production numbers at that time, we said, you know, I bet that would be a good number to do as a production. And it was.
The thing that sparked off why we would pick a song too is either a mood or the lyrics.
Yeah, it had to be bluesy. It had to be hurtin'.
Hurtin'
we used to
lyrics.
call it. Blues lyrics.
Like, so, Set Me Free, Why Don't You, Babe, the lyrics, the emotion, whatnot.
Sad.
It was sad, and the music that the Supremes were doing was too happy.
It was all, set me free, oh, set me free, like that. Oh. So we thought, set me free.
Yeah, so we made it
that
heavy,
way.
you know, and we got the emotion in it.
Stronger feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, and then other ways we do, like, People Get Ready, it's more like a gospel, churchy thing, so we made that into just the churchy kind of thing. Eleanor Rigby was like a horror movie. Mood. So very eerie. Season of the Witch, very eerie. So we would take either the mood of the song and make it totally the mood.
We'd exaggerate it very much.
We'd exaggerate
yeah.
it, is a good word. Or we take the lyrics and hurt and, you know, like we did this on our new album, The Return. We did Tearing Up My Heart by NSYNC.
By NSYNC. Another one by Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys was more of a mood song. You know, the lyrics aren't hurting, but it was a really great song. We wanted to set a nice mood for it.
Boy, did that work good with the orchestra.
Yeah, we did that with
Till You All By My Heart is one of the best tracks of the album.
Thank you.
tremendous.
Thank you very much.
So Tearing Up My Heart's that same thing. Tearing up my heart, man, I'm with you, you know.
I'm 16 and I am dead, you know. Yeah.
So we made it heavy, you know. Tearing up my heart, man, it's emotional.
You were the only one band that dared to do something like that. To take a pop song and create it into a rock song.
Well, we were the only ones that made it. Like
There was a lot of them.
The Hassles, Billy Joel did it.
Vagrants.
The Vagrants and Leslie West. The Rich Kids did it. This is super big songwriter.
There's a bunch of different bands in Long Island.
We were the first ones to break out and make it.
Great.
Because we had, I think we had 4 vocals, we had 4 musicians. Where everybody, the other bands that had maybe one good singer, one good musician, we had the best from
And we had a good management team, which helped a lot.
the Mafia.
Yeah, that's, yeah. I wasn't going to go there.
Italian
Yeah,
Mafia.
okay.
What made you decide this reunion? With this tour also.
To do what?
This is a reunion about the new
The
CD.
reunion?
Reunion and the new and the tour. And the new CD and the tour.
It just
Well,
happened.
Yeah, well, I got a phone call at the end of 1999.
No,
No.
Maybe it was a fax.
98.
It was 98?
In summer of 98, because I was in Japan. In summer 98, the phone call was about going to Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was in Japan for that one.
I am moving all your luggage.
Okay.
My toothbrush and stuff is in the bathroom, sweetie. She's good.
I got a call, a fax, when I was in Japan saying that somebody in Japan wanted to hire Vanilla Fudge. He had gotten a phone call. And when we all talked and everything, and the end was, in February '99, we went to Japan. Mark Stein didn't want to go because we were only playing a jazz dinner club for 10 shows in one place. He didn't want to go. He was too into what he was doing. So we went and we brought Bill Pascali with us, who was a keyboard player singer on that, who sounds just like Mark. He's as good a singer.
Very good show.
Great singer. I mean, he looks like him.
Yeah?
He even wears a hairpiece like him. But so then after we played that, we had a good time. And we hadn't played this stuff since 1987 when we did a tour without Vinny. Okay, because Vinny, everybody in this band always had one turn to screw things up. And 87 was Vinny's turn, and 98 was Mark's turn. Except this time, we thought we had fun, and we were offered other gigs in America, and we took some to see how it was going. And when we did them, it was good. We played West Square Music Fair, and it was just a magic gig. It was unbelievable. You know, with the Rascals, Vanilla Fudge, and Shadows of Night, you know, Gloria, you know. And it was just an amazing night. So
We decided to keep going because
Keep
it's
going,
fun,
you know.
the money's good, and we enjoy playing with each other.
And then
I like this. I like playing with Carmine big time.
we're just getting it back together again,
Yeah.
you know, especially on this tour, because it's the first time we've been out 15 days straight playing. You know.
How was your collaboration with Jeff Beck?
The collaboration
Yes.
was difficult.
Difficult.
Yeah.
Strange guy, huh?
At times. At times.
Well, with some of the magic when we played.
When it was good, it was unbelievable.
What about Rod Stewart?
Rod Stewart.
You're going to play with him in his most successful period.
Yeah, and he was, you know, one of our favorite singers forever. You know.
Still is.
And basically, you know, I was in this band called KGB, and I wasn't happy with the situation. I heard from a friend of mine that Rod was auditioning drummers. So I had called up Pete Buckland, who was Rod's tour manager, because we did a lot of touring with Rod, Faces, and Cactus. And, you know, Rod was a Vanilla Fudge fan, also a Cactus fan. And basically, I called him up and said, hey, you know, I heard you're looking for a drummer. Why didn't you call me? He says, you're always busy, you know. I said, I'm not busy. I'd love to maybe play with Rod. It'd be great. So he said to me, well, I'll call Rod. He's in London. Let's see what you think. So he called me back the next day and said, Rod said, you should go to his house. The band is rehearsing without a drummer. to go there and see if you like the band. So instead of the band liking me, you see if I like the band. And I said, well, who's in the band? He said, Phil Chen was in the band. And I had played with Phil Chen with Jeff Beck on Blow by Blow. And my performances didn't make it to the finished product. I worked in the studio with George Martin. And so I knew Phil, and I knew this guy, Jim Cregan. I worked with Tony Ashley and John Lord in London. I did a show with them. And so I went there the next day, and I played. And we had a great time. So I told Pete, well, tell Rod, I think the band's cool, you know. So Rod said he'd coming back the next day, and he came back and said, well, look, I'd love to have you in the band. I know you have fans. You can do a drum solo every night, and just play like you did in Cactus. I said, that's easy. So I did, and we were together 7.5 years.
You mentioned KGB. What happened with band? It was a super group.
Well, yeah.
But what happened? No success?
No, it was Mike Bluefield didn't want to do it. When the album came out, you know, he did an interview in the LA Times, Robert Hilburn, which is the biggest, you know, Robert Hilburn, the biggest journalist you can do an interview with. It's like doing Rolling Stone. Millions of readers. And he said in the interview, I would never play with Rick Gretsch. I would never play with Carmine Appice. I would never play with Ray Kennedy. David Geffen and Elliot Roberts put this together. It's a big management superstar band. I don't even like the band. I don't even like the album.
So that's why it didn't last.
Yeah. So the management read that and said, you're out of here. Fuck off. You didn't like it? Get out of here. So he was gone. And then Rick Gretsch was shooting up heroin again. So he was out. So then we replaced him with two other guys, which is what it was saying. So it never really happened. We went on the road one time with Joe Cocker. With Joe Cocker, and Joe was so sick. Drinking every song, he'd go up to the side of the stage and throw up in a bucket. Then wipe his face and go out and sing more and drink. Every song. It's disgusting. So that lasted 3 weeks and we went off.
How many you participated in the historical recording in '86? You're an 80 star.
Oh, here it is.
Do you remember any anecdote from the story?
Well, I mean, they wanted me and my brother to play drums together on it, but
Who was the
unfortunately...
bass player? Who was the bass player? The bass player, yeah.
Oh, the bass player was Jimmy Bain.
Ah, Jimmy Bain. From you. Yes.
And, but I was on the road, so I believe they got Vinny and Frankie Benelli, something like that. And, but I flew in on a day off from the King Cobra tour just to sing in the chorus, you know, to do the press. It was fun. It was interesting seeing everybody there.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about the recording of Paul Stanley's solo album in 1978. You played there.
Yeah.
And there is a rumor after that album that you have auditioned for Kiss. Is that true?
No,
No.
not true.
It's just a rumor. Because
It's a rumor.
there were too many drummers that wanted to play.
No, I never did.
What about the rumor?
I was too famous. You know, I was managed by Kiss's management company for a while. Coin.
Bill O'Coin.
Yeah. And that's how the whole thing with Paul Stanley happened. I started hanging out with Paul, and when I was with Rod Stewart, they were Rod fans, and we played the Forum. The Kiss guys came to see us, and I went to a party at Rod's house. I went with Paul Stanley, and then me and him went there. And when he was living in LA, we hung out together. And then he asked me to play in a solo record. And I came in from Asia with Rod. I was in Thailand and Singapore and all that. And I flew in. I got in the morning. I went right to the studio. And I don't even remember anything. I did 5 songs. To Take Me Away ended up on the album. I don't know what happened to the other 4 songs.
Maybe they're still
They're
unreleased.
probably in the can somewhere. But there was only 1 song.
With King Cobra, you supported Kiss in the 80s. With King Cobra, I think you supported Kiss.
Yes.
They are signed to
Right.
And I want to ask you
86.
about 86. I want to ask you about King Cobra. About the reunion album. There was an album 2 years ago. Is that right?
Hollywood Trash?
Hollywood Trash. How did you decide to
Well, that was MTM approached me and asked me if I would do a King Cobra album. And I said, well, I don't know, because I have to find out if anybody in the band would want to do one. So I did contact Marcy, Free, who is now a woman, Marcy. And she said, yeah, I might be interested in it. Yeah, great vocals. And David Michael Phillips, one of the original guitarists, said he would do it. Johnny Rod said he would do it, and Mick said he would do it. So I told him yes. So after I signed the contract and I started like trying to get everybody together, Marcy Free said, I don't want to do it, I don't want to be in the business no more. I said, well, you know, you told me yeah, and now you don't want to do it. So I said, all right, so I got Kelly Keeling, the singer, who did my Guitar Zoo stuff. He did Michael Schenker, he did John Norum, he did a lot of stuff. So he's a great singer and a great writer, so I got him to sing. And then David Michael Phillips didn't want to do it because he wanted to write all the songs. He lived in Phoenix, it was hard to get him to LA. He was an architect, he had 3-4 kids, he couldn't get it in. So that was like, okay, so he couldn't do it. So all right, so it was going to be me, Kelly, Mick Swainer, and Johnny Rock. So I start recording, you know, like, and Johnny Rod was supposed to fly in. I sent him a ticket, and it ends up, the ticket never got there, but he couldn't leave the state he was in, Missouri, because he was in jail. He was on parole. Okay? So I just give him a ticket, and FedEx lost it, and then he couldn't come anyway. So now it's down to me, Kelly, and Mick. You know, so Kelly plays bass too. So I said, Kelly, well, you just play bass. I'll pay you Johnny's fee. So Kelly played bass, rhythm guitar, and sang, and we co-wrote the song. We wrote Mick Swader in to do some solos. And this guy named Steve Fister that I was working with, he did solos. And C.C. DeVille came in and played on the track. No, he from Poison. Yeah. So he came in and did the track. So really, it was no real King Cobra band now. It was, yeah, so we needed, you know, so it was King Cobra album. And, you know, I tried to keep the same King Cobra spirit and material in the direction that King Cobra would be in then, in 2001, not in 1986. But MTM wanted me to do a 1986 album. I don't do that. I don't go back and do stuff exactly like 1986, you know? I told them up front, I'll make a great heavy metal rock album for today, you know, for what we'd be doing today. But they didn't want it. So I even put in a couple of bonus tracks of the demos that got King Cobra the record and Mark Free from singing. Yeah, he's on 2 tracks. And it was Mark Free, Earl Slick played guitar, and Johnny Rod was on bass. And that was the demo we used to get the record. Because it was 2 songs that I wrote with Earl Slick and another guy named Jim Diamond. And we used those songs to get the record. So it was kind of a bit of a mutt, you know, but, you know, came out good. I could.
Is that true that Rich Blackmore
Well, I couldn't do it, so I was signed to KGB. I was signed to MCA Records, and I couldn't do it. They wouldn't let me do it.
What happened to Blue Murder?
Blue Murder, you know, we did one great album. We didn't expect it to fail. We didn't expect it to fail, so we had nothing written up in the contract. You know, when we did our contract together about if it failed, what happens then? You know, because we all put in all the time and money and energy to make it big. You know, best producer, best record company, best A&R guy, John Paladner, best engineer, great songs, best musicians.
About a reunion maybe?
Hey?
A reunion? With Blue Murder again?
We were talking about it, but at this point, me and John and Tony agreed to do it as of July. We said we would do it, but then Tony Franklin just had a baby and decided to not be a player in the music business anymore, but to work behind the scenes in SWR amplifier, bass amplifier, as the A&R guy. So we started doing that, so now it's doing murders not really gonna happen.
The first one was 34. I think you played the second to some additional drums. I think you played the second album.
No, I played on most of the songs. It's just that me and Tony were gone, so they had to make it look like the other guys played on most of them. We played on 10 of the 12 tracks.
The next question is about DNA. About the breakdown of this band DNA. You made one album in 1984. 1984. Why did you continue?
Well, that was, just things happen, record company bullshit.
There was no chemistry between them.
No, me and Rick were fine. It was a record company went out there. It was like a Boardwalk Records, which had
Drum sets.
Night Ranger and Joan Jett, and they were MCA distributed. We did that DNA record. We did a video. It was on MTV 5 times a day when MTV was new. And we got top airplay in America up to in the top 20 with the Doctors of the Universe song. And it was just ready to break out. And Boardwalk Records just went under.
I
Whatever
think his
reason.
president died.
No, later.
Later.
And, so we tried to get it moved to another label, but it was, so we lost all the momentum of what was going on at radio and MTV, and basically, so it died. So when it died, Rick did his stuff, and I went on to my stuff. And I joined Ozzy.
When you joined Ozzy for the tour, one for
The tour and the video. I was associate producer on the mixing and finishing of the book.
You didn't record it before, no?
What was the reaction of people? The recording of Derringer vocal notes. What was the reaction? Yes. I mean,
With the fans, you mean?
yes, the fans and the sales of the album. Because the album,
Yeah,
this is
everybody.
2001.
No, we didn't do any tour. No. We, again, it was one of those deals where a friend of mine, Greg Hampton, is a producer, kind of guy that gets record dealers, called me and said, SPV wants to do a record with you and Rick Derringer, a DNA record. And I said, well, okay. And he said, well, who would you want as a bass player? And we just came off doing a project in Japan called CBA with Cha, who was a Japanese Jeff Beck, very well known. And we just played the Budokan and all this big stuff. So I said, well, maybe we should get Tim to play. It could be DBA. So we're DBA, CBA, now DBK. So he thought it was a good idea. So we put it together and we recorded the album. But as we were telling Chris, we had a problem with the album because we recorded for the first time on Pro Tools. And when we went to mix, 2 of the songs got lost.
Oh, actually 4 of them got lost.
4 of them got lost, but we
We were able
recovered
to
2.
retrieve 2. See, I had 4 songs on that record. 2
We
were
all had
missing.
4 songs singing each,
Yeah.
4 songs each.
But 2 of them got lost in the hard drive someplace.
And we
So
couldn't find it, and we didn't
Rick
have.
had already gone back to
Ricky went back, so we couldn't.
You were very lucky because Blondie, they lost the whole album.
Oh, really?
The whole album. They recorded again.
Recently?
Yes.
Yes,
It was
yes.
1 or 2 years.
They never called it the curse.
And that, you know what? It's got to be really hard to record it again.
Yes.
To try and get the same feeling. Because once you record it, you get a great feeling. Then I'm sorry, guys, you got to do it all again. It's like after you do an interview and somebody says, question, give a great answer. Oh, the machine's not on. Can we do it again? And you say it again. It's not as good.